Hello guys, it is me, Victoria. For today's video, I am going to tell you about what I believe is the fantasy that creates the entire vortex. What is at the heart of the vortex? What is like the core fantasy that drives a lot of women's behavior in dating and romance? Okay, please take this with a grain of salt and please listen to my entire video before just getting yourselves thrown in jail, as you like to say. So, alright. I made this little diagram. It's not that great, okay? But right here we're gonna have like the heart of the vortex. Alright, so this is like a signal, okay? And it's getting like weaker towards the top, alright? So at the top, we have level 1. Okay, this is like level 1 submissive instincts. Okay, in my opinion, this is just like women, like the very fact that women are attracted to men, okay, or that straight women are attracted to men, shows that they are on some level being affected by the vortex, okay, because they're attracted to male strengths, okay? I feel like that's kind of like the basic, like, heterosexual urge or whatever. It's like, you see men and, like, you admire them for, like, their talents, their skills, their strengths, their powers, their competency, like, their traits, okay? So, a lot of women, they're kind of like, I hate men, right? But they're still attracted to men because I think they still are kind of being affected by the power at the bottom of the vortex. All right, then on level 2, okay, we have women who are, you know, it's like the feeling is getting a bit stronger. They're kind of being like drawn inexorably towards like the heart of the vortex. We have like attraction to men in romance novels. A lot of romance novels, right, they got a certain kind of like dominant man in them. Even like your romantic comedies a lot of times, like Mr. Darcy in Pride and Prejudice. A female fave, you know, he's a very masculine guy with a lot of masculine kind of like abrasive traits. Like he's kind of cold and rude. He's a little bit like controlling in a way. He's a little, well, he's not necessarily like controlling, but it's kind of like he's got a little bit of like a dark and brooding personality, let's say that. Alright, so, you know, a lot of times when women are kind of like obsessing over their favorite fictional male romance novel characters, like they're kind of, you know, feeling the submissive instincts a little more intensely because they are really attracted to that dominant guy, right? But it's very like dominant light. Do you see what I mean? Like he's just got a little flavor of like dominance. All right, then we have level 3, okay? I feel like, you know, when women are really attracted to like the idea of marriage and they're kind of getting into this stage where they're like, I really want this like provider, protector, like a man, not a boy, like a strong man to kind of like give me that feeling of like protection and relationship, okay? A lot of women are interested in marriage, so I think they're hearing the call of the vortex a little more strongly because marriage is, for women, unfortunately, is almost like a submissive thing, in a weird way, like just the way it has been culturally for so long, in my opinion. Alright, so then we're getting to level 4, okay? This is when women are hearing the call of the vortex a little bit more strongly, okay? This is when they might want to start experimenting in the bedroom with kind of like BDSM light, like maybe you get the fuzzy handcuffs or whatever, or they like, you know, some light choking or light slapping or hair pulling. It's like they're kind of craving a tad more of these dominant behaviors. Do you know what I mean? But they definitely don't want to like take it to anything more than that. And quick side note, you know, a woman is going to have to feel safe to want to kind of express these like submissive instincts. Like, for example, if she doesn't feel like the guy respects her, if she doesn't feel like if she feels like the guy's kind of in danger of leaving, she's not really going to want to submit or indulge in any kind of submissive urges, because she's going to be kind of thinking, well, he doesn't deserve that because he should make me feel safe first. So just FYI. All right, back to this level 5. Level 5, we're hearing the call of the vortex pretty strongly at this point. It's attraction to more intense BDSM. Like, you want it rougher, you want it harder, you want it maybe more humiliating, you want it more degrading. You need the volume on the dominance turned up because you are hearing this call of the vortex more strongly. So so interesting. Like, there's this concept, the call of the void, right? It's like, what is at the bottom of the void calling? And that is this fantasy that I'm telling you about in this video. All right, so level 6, just having it rougher, more intense in the bedroom is not enough. You are hearing the call of the submissive primal mating instincts even more strongly. And now you kind of need to take it out of the bedroom into your relationship, and you want rules, protocol, little domestic discipline training. You want a dominant guy, not just in the bedroom, but you want it more in your relationship. You want to experience that. Level 7, we have what they call in kink 24/7. So that's basically the person is dominant. We're talking about guys in this video, so whatever. But he's dominant like all the time in your relationship, mostly, basically. And you are kind of like a slave a little bit. You're the submissive, whatever. He kind of controls everything. He has total power. All right? A lot of people do this. Like, guys, a lot of people. Crazy, right? I shouldn't say crazy. Wild. Okay, now let's get down to level 8, which is the fantasy that is creating all these submissive urges late, okay? And that is internal enslavement, total control, mind, body, and soul, mental enslavement, physical enslavement, slavery, master, slave, super intense, okay? So what I'm saying to you guys is that this is an instinct that many, not all, okay, please, I am not saying all. I do think it's many have, okay? However, not all can hear this instinct. Some can only hear it distantly. Okay, it's like how children, I shouldn't bring children into this, but like, you know how children, like, when they get past a certain age, they lose the ability to hear this really high frequency. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Some people cannot hear the frequency at the bottom of the vortex, okay? But in my opinion, it's just like these fantasies, but the volume turned all the way up, okay? So I feel like this can help you to understand the connection between a lot of female behavior you might see in dating, in relationships, what they're attracted to, what they're drawn to. Let's boil it down, okay? Now, to get a clear picture of what I'm talking about, like this total like enslavement, there are 2 books I recommend you guys reading. They're wild books, all right? They're classics of erotic literature. One's actually a classic, one, in my opinion, is a classic. All right, so one is called The Story of O, all right? The Story of O was allegedly written by this woman whose lover was like this, intellectual writer dude, and he was saying no woman could ever write an erotic novel as good as like the Marquis de Sade, because women aren't like sexual and as intense as men. They can't like write something so like dirty basically and intense. And she's like, yeah, I don't agree. So anyway, she ended up writing and publishing under a pen name this novel that swept like the nation, it seemed like, a lot like 50 Shades of Grey, because it was so intense and there was all this controversy who wrote it, and everyone said it was written by a man because like no woman could ever think of this. But it's like, actually yes, women are the ones who are hearing the call of these submissive primal mating instincts quite clearly a lot of times, and men are the ones that, you know, aren't really like understanding how deep it goes a lot of times, okay? Like even guys who are pretty good doms or whatever, or they're good in bed, or they think they understand women, I don't know if they truly understand like how intense and deep and dark the fantasy can become in the height of passion, or you know when you're really hearing the call of that vortex. So I hope this can like simplify some behavior, because to me, I see it all part of like the same spectrum. Like when I see women, you know, on TikTok talking about like their favorite book talk heroes, I'm like, okay, they're basically light versions of you know, a super dominant controlling guy. They're just having like a light flavor of the same kink. But oh, I forgot to tell you the second book. Okay, yeah, so that was The Story of Ho, so I recommend you reading that, because that will give you a good idea of how intense this fantasy is for many women. Okay, and like I said, I don't believe that all women want it to level 8. And I don't believe all women have like the desire to be like fully enslaved. Not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying they might only be comfortable at a level true, like attraction to their romance novel heroes, okay? But I'm saying that other women do have it to this extreme degree, and in my opinion, it's all on the same spectrum. So it can help you kind of understand, and maybe understand, you know, the why, and kind of like the pattern behind what they want, so you can better get into their headspace and understand, you know, what is so attractive to them about the dominant guys in their romance novels or whatever, or why they are kind of craving the fuzzy handcuffs or something, or why they want it more intense, okay? And why you being like scared and thinking that you know, it makes you a bad person is not really serving you, because you could be playing into exactly what they want. Problem is, a lot of women do not like to communicate about sex and do not like to bring a lot of these sexual urges, in my opinion, to conscious awareness. Okay, and I know that because I was like that myself for a very long time, because it's so taboo and it's so insane that you don't even want to like touch it with a 10-foot pole. So you just like stuff it down in the dark closet of your subconscious, okay? So anyway, guys, I hope this helps. And in my opinion, like why we have this fantasy, like this intense submissive urge, I don't know. Nobody knows, okay? But I mean, it's pretty standard like mammal mating behavior, it seems like. I mean, you know, you look in like a nature documentary, and the animals are having a similar thing going on. Okay, a lot of the women, they're watching the males fight over them. Okay, the women are kind of getting like turned on by kind of like the power, the strength, the skill, the competence, the dominant traits of these guys, and then they're kind of tuning in to the submissive frequency, which allows them to kind of get like almost like on catnip, like their mind kind of like becomes like paralyzed, and is like kind of like mentally masturbating to, you know, how powerful and intense and like awesome and like worthy of respect these guys are. and then it kind of like allows them to go into this submissive like trance, which allows the guys to climb on them and mate. And this is how like the survival of the fittest, you know, perpetuates itself. So I think it's like a mating instinct for, you know, the fittest in that woman's mind. So the woman is a female choice, as they say. Like, the woman gets to decide, you know, who does she think is the fittest? Who does she like? Which traits does she value? But anyway, then this kind of primal like instinct takes over to tell her submit to being mated with. So I like see this in like big cat mating videos a lot. Like, I'll just see this like look come over the female lioness or whatever, and she just kind of weakens just for a second. Then as soon as he's done, she like claws him in the face, or gets really annoyed, like, get off me, you disgusting like animal. But for that one moment, she's kind of like paralyzed by these instincts, which allows, you know, her pride, like her literal pride, to weaken for a second in order to allow herself to respect and feel the power of like the male lion or whatevs. Alright guys, so I hope this made sense. Let me know if it did. Let me know if it didn't. Let me know if you do not know what I'm talking about. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you think I know nothing about evolution, because you would be right. Alright, but I have seen these nature documentaries, and I have seen it with my own eyes. I'm like, I kind of understand a lot, because I know I feel the same thing. I see it in her. So, here we go. Alright. I will put all the details down below. Thank you so much for watching. Trying to make just like blah videos so I can like make more videos. So, yeah, alright. Thanks to my supporter, Mike, as well. And thanks to my boyfriend, Beardo. And thanks for all your incredible comments as well.